Hello again, friends. Let me ask you something. How many times today have you reached for your pill organizer? For many of us, medications are part of the daily routine, like brushing our teeth or brewing morning coffee. But what if some of those pills meant to help could actually be doing harm? Now, I'm not here to scare you. Doctors are lifesavers and medications can be miracles. But as we age, our bodies change, and sometimes what worked at 50 might not be the best choice at 70. Today, we're going to talk about 5 common medications that might be affecting your health in ways you don't expect. And don't worry, we'll also cover what you can do about it. No guilt, no panic. Just practical, empowering information. Let's start with 2 medications you might recognize. First up, over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen or naproxen. You know, the ones we grab for a sore knee or a stubborn headache. I've done it too. But here's the catch. These NSAIDs, that's short for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, can be rough on your stomach and kidneys over time. And after 60, our kidneys aren't as quick to forgive a daily dose. I've had friends end up in the ER with ulcers or kidney issues, all from pills they thought were harmless. But here's the good news. For everyday aches, alternatives like acetaminophen, Tylenol for example, are easier on the stomach. And non-pill options, a game changer. Heat pads, gentle stretches, or even topical creams can work wonders. My neighbor swears by her weekly Tai Chi class for arthritis pain. Always talk to your doctor, of course, but you might have more choices than you think. Now, let's talk about something many of us struggle with: sleep. If you've ever been prescribed a medication like Valium or Xanax for insomnia, raise your hand. No judgment here. These benzodiazepines can feel like a lifeline when you're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., but as we age, they increase the risk of falls. And falls can change everything. Plus, they're habit-forming. My cousin Jim took them for years, and quitting was tougher than he ever imagined. So what can you do instead? First, ask your doctor about melatonin or non-drug approaches. A warm bath before bed, limiting screen time, or even a weighted blanket might help. And if anxiety's keeping you up, mindfulness apps or a cup of chamomile tea could be worth a try. Small changes, big impact. Now, these are just the first 2 medications on our list, but already, I hope you're feeling a little more informed, a little more in control, because knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health. Up next, we'll tackle 2 more common medications and simple swaps to keep you feeling your best. Remember, this isn't about fear, it's about making choices that let you thrive, year after year. Now, we've already chatted about pain relievers and sleep medications, those sneaky little things that might not be as harmless as they seem. But today, we're diving into 2 more medications you might have in your cabinet right now. And trust me, what you learn here could be a real game changer for your energy, your memory, and even your independence. Let's start with something many of us use without a second thought: allergy or cold medications like Benadryl. You know, the ones that knock out a stuffy nose but leave you feeling like you've been hit by a truck? These are part of a group called anticholinergics, a mouthful I know. They're also in some antidepressants, sleep aids, and even bladder control pills. But here's the kicker. Studies show they can fog up your brain over time, making it harder to remember names, dates, or where you left your keys. And for some folks, long-term use might even increase the risk of dementia. My friend Martha used to pop these like candy during allergy season. Then she noticed she'd walk into a room and forget why she was there. Turns out it wasn't just aging, it was the pills. When she switched to a nasal steroid spray and started using a HEPA filter at home, boom, clear sinuses and a clear head. Always ask your doctor, of course, but sometimes a small tweak can make a world of difference. Next up, heartburn meds. Oh, I get it. Acid reflux is no joke. Proton pump inhibitors or PPIs like omeprazole feel like a miracle when you're battling that fiery chest pain. But here's the catch. Taking them for months or years can backfire. They might rob your body of magnesium, calcium, or vitamin B12, leaving you tired, achy, or even more prone to fractures. My brother-in-law Ted was on them for a decade, until his doctor found out his bones were as brittle as a dry cracker. So what's the fix? First, try smaller meals and avoiding late-night snacks. Pressure off the stomach. Elevate the head of your bed, sip ginger tea, or chew gum to neutralize acid. And if you do need meds, ask about H2 blockers like famotidine. They're gentler for long-term use. You don't have to suffer in silence, or risk your health to find relief. Now, I know this might feel overwhelming. First my pain pills, then my sleep aids, now my allergy meds and antacids. But here's the thing. You're not being asked to toss your pills in the trash. You're being empowered to start a conversation. A simple, "Hey doc, is this still right for me?" could open doors you never knew existed. Think of your body like a vintage car. It's been through decades of adventures, right? It doesn't need the same fuel or maintenance it did in 1980. What worked then might not work now, and that's okay. It's not about good or bad choices. It's about adapting, tuning things up, and keeping that engine purring. Finally, we'll tackle one last medication, something millions take for blood pressure or anxiety, and wrap this all up with simple steps to take action. Because the goal isn't to scare you, it's to prepare you. To give you the tools you need to feel vibrant, sharp, and fully yourself for years to come. We've covered a lot together: pain relievers, sleep aids, allergy meds, heartburn pills. Now let's talk about one last medication that's in nearly half of all medicine cabinets: blood pressure pills. Specifically, diuretics, like hydrochlorothiazide. You might know them as water pills. They're great at reducing fluid buildup and lowering blood pressure, but here's the catch. As we age, they can sometimes drain too much. These medications work by helping your body shed excess salt and water. But for seniors, that can lead to dehydration, dizziness, or even dangerous electrolyte imbalances. My buddy Frank learned this the hard way. He was feeling lightheaded every time he stood up, convinced it was just part of getting older. Turns out his diuretic dose was too high for his current needs. After adjusting it with his doctor, he's back to tending his rose bushes without wobbling. Now, I'm not saying diuretics are bad, they save lives, but if you're on them, regular check-ins with your doctor are crucial. Maybe a lower dose or a different type of blood pressure medication would work better for you now. And lifestyle tweaks? Cutting back on salt, staying hydrated, and adding gentle walks can do wonders. Small changes, big protection for your heart, and your balance. So, let's recap our 5 medications. 1. NSAIDs like ibuprofen, risking your stomach and kidneys. 2. Benzodiazepines for sleep, increasing fall risk. 3. Anticholinergics like Benadryl, clouding your mind. 4. PPIs for heartburn, weakening bones. And 5. Diuretics for blood pressure, draining too much. But here's what matters most. You're not stuck. Every single one of these has safer alternatives or adjustments. It's about teamwork. You, your doctor, and a willingness to ask, is this still the best choice for me? So what's next? Grab your pill organizer and make a list. At your next appointment say, can we review these? Bring up symptoms like dizziness, fatigue, or brain fog. It might be the meds, not you. And explore non-drug options. Physical therapy for pain, meditation for sleep, dietary changes for heartburn. You've got more power here than you think. I know change can feel daunting. Maybe you've been on these medications for years. But remember Frank and his roses, or Martha, who swapped allergy pills for a nasal spray? They're proof that a little curiosity can lead to big wins. And if you're nervous, bring a loved one to your appointment. They can be your advocate, your note-taker, your cheerleader. Before we wrap up, 2 quick asks. If this video helped you, hit that like button. It helps others find it too. And if you haven't yet, tap subscribe. We're all in this together, sharing stories and strategies to thrive after 60. Oh, and drop a comment below. Have you adjusted a medication and seen a difference? We'd love to celebrate your wins. Friends, aging isn't about losing. It's about adapting. Like this plant, we just need the right kind of care as the seasons change. So, water your roots with knowledge, prune what no longer serves you, and keep reaching toward the light. Here's to your health, your strength, and the wisdom to know you're worth it.